Alright, what's up guys? We've got a full map 7 path. I will be taking paths 7, 9, and 5 in here, or at least that's how it's numbered. And now this is such a long video, so if you guys want to skip ahead to the, I guess, the highlights of it, that's fine. At 3:30 we got a glitch. At 4:50 we got the first Omega Red mini boss. 1810 is the second Omega Red mini boss. 2815 is the 2815 is where I died, and 31 is about where I open up my rewards, including the map crystals. Alright, so first, my first lane is Caustic Temper. So essentially I need to have at least one Fury to cause any significant damage. I remember it was like on day 1, maybe it was day 2. I went in with Sentinel, and after the whole 3 minutes full analysis, I did a quarter of their health. And this is back when they had like half the health they have now on day 5. So around like 50 to 60k, I only did like a quarter. So yeah, you kind of need someone who can get Furies on command almost. So first fight, it's Carnage, pretty easy. And it doesn't seem like he has passive power gain. I'm not really sure which ones do, because it shows up in icon like a passive fury for them when you have too much, when you have 2 furies or more. So for these first two fights they didn't show up, and then this Hulkbuster fight is actually kind of a long fight. I don't really know exactly why. Maybe I'm getting confused. It's either Rhino or Hulkbuster that their defense goes up as their health goes down. Now that I think Rhino's defense is highest at the start of the fight, before you've done any damage, and Hulkbuster is the one that whose defense increases the more damage he's taken. So for this one, what I like to do is I like to bait the SP1s, try to get some incinerates on him. So as you see, doing a pretty significant amount of damage, but again, you gotta have those Furies or else all your damage drops off. Go for an SP2, and yeah, so if you can get a crit on there, it does a pretty nice amount of damage, and then get the incinerates on there too. Alright, I'm gonna try to bait this SP1, there we go. But yeah, this fight isn't too bad. The only thing is that, as you can see, my non-critical hits doing like no damage because of his armor and Hyperion not having the best crit rate. Alright, and on to the next part. This is where the glitch comes in. So as you can see, I click down. It's a little glitchy, but I clearly click on how to duck. I'm freaking out, like, dude, like, no. It's like map 7, and I'm not sure if the guy has the champions. So like he has to have a champion with Fury to get through, or else it'd be really costly. Luckily he had it moved, and he did happen to have a Medusa on his team, so that was super lucky for me. Zip, Bleed, and Invade. Legacy had a Corvus, so this is perfect for him. So he just ended up taking it. And then he also had Vision, which would work a lot better for Stuck Strange than me going with Sentinel, who kind of needs a little bit of ramp up. And my Sentinel isn't duped, so yeah. Next up, we've got the Omega Red mini boss. I was supposed to take on both Omega Reds, but I guess people just want the points. I don't know. But yeah, the first guy died on here. So I go in with Void, and the plan is to Obviously, I just need to get SP1s off, but right here I waited just a tad bit too long, and so I did lose 300 health or so. I don't really care about how much he's gonna regen. I mean, he does regen a significant amount, but in the end, Void can solo this fight. Now, I don't know if on a different week where Void doesn't have the attack boost, if he will still be able to solo this. Regardless, I don't lose that much health, so if I time out and I have to go in again, I'm sure I would be fine. Probably have someone else with the Void come in. As you can see, they changed the node, and I don't know when it was, but it used to be the case that where if his regen would be reversed, they would actually amplify his regen. So yeah, they changed it. I'm not sure if it was like the first week or what, but yeah, that's why I didn't jump in with Void. But yeah, Void makes this pretty easy. I know people have been using Ghost. Ghost is a little risky though, because he has to throw those specials or else you're kind of screwed. But yeah, this guy in total has close to 400k health. Day 4 I soloed one. I recorded it, but I'm not gonna upload it just because you guys are gonna see the Omega Red fights here anyways. And the concept stays the same, fight stays the same, it's just a little bit more health. Alright, and as you can see, he's degen for quite a bit, 650 per tick, and he goes down. Alright, so Omega Red down. I believe at this point it's like 8 or 9 o'clock PM. So I get some energy, and I want to move first because the other guys, I want them to have energy so that they can clear me. That's one of the annoying things about Map 7 is that there are so many links. So this Hulk unlinks the left and right side, and then the left and right side, or the adjacent lanes, have to clear their next fight so that I can take my next fight. So yeah, double linked, and one of them is shock, so I can't take it. If a lane is, or if a link is easy enough, I'll take it noted, just for the sake of time, and so that I can like empty all my energy and come back when I have 3 or 4 energy instead of just 1 energy, which is pretty annoying. Alright, we got Hulk here. Hulk. So you can see, for this lane, you have to have at least 3 debuffs in order to cause damage. Otherwise, all your damage drops to 0. So even when I get Fear of the Void, all my damage goes down to 0. This node isn't too bad. The only thing that's bad about it is the freaking Crossbones at the end of this lane. It's so annoying. And I ended up taking it with Hyperion, as you'll see later. But yeah, I threw my SP2 because I was about to get Fear of the Void, and I'd rather have this than Fear of the Void. Unfortunately, I had some trouble baiting his SP2, but yeah, so my damage drops off, but it'll pick back up in a second. Alright, and we're ticking for, well, the damage is basically, since damage over time is split into half seconds, yeah, we're doing a lot of damage. Alright, and we go on to our next fight. Our next fight is actually pretty easy. Now, because I knew I was taking on the next Omega Red, I didn't use Void. I generally use Void for every single of these fights, but the Blade and Crossbone ones, they really they chip me down a lot through my block and anything else. So yeah, I decided to use Hyperion because I thought Hyperion will just he can just regen, so I'll be fine. So I do take this in with Hyperion, And the plan is to get to an SP3 as fast as possible for the sake of time. Because Hyperion fights are generally, well, depending on the fight, can get pretty long because you have to go through SP3 animation sometimes. And here I'm just trying to build up Furies and throw an SP1. But yeah, there we go. So he's getting a good amount of incinerate damage. Yeah, as you can see, if I don't have those 3 debuffs, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, kind of a long fight. I think Void would actually be a better option here, just because your damage would never drop off up until Fear the Void. Alright, throw my SP3, that way I can get the constant power gain with 3 cosmic charges. That's the one thing I love about Hyperion, is his SP3 is so good because he just gains those cosmic charges, and you basically you can keep them up for such a long time. Alright, okay, so he drops his indestructible, and he's almost down. I throw my SP, I guess I don't. Yeah, I was supposed to throw my SP2 to just end the fight, but I guess I ended up going for a regen instead. And because he's taking no damage, I can throw any of my specials just to prolong the fight. Get some regen in there because I take Hyperion for the next couple fights. So the strategy was to regen, because even if I have a ton of Furies, it won't matter unless I have debuffs on there. And yeah, I regened a good amount. So alright, until the next fight, we've got Blade on here. Again, this track, you have to have 3 debuffs to cause damage. So I'm gonna go in here with Hyperion. Now this fight doesn't really scare me. The only scary part is if you launch into an SP2 and you're trying to bait the SP2, and if he's not baiting, because of the global node where if you dash back 10 times via dexterity, I believe, he becomes completely unblockable. And yeah, you guys know Blade's SP2 is pretty lethal. So I believe I built my Furies and throw my SP3. You can see he's taking 0 damage, so it doesn't really matter. You'll see a couple times where I'll just throw the SP3 without, you know, not even caring about the what's it called? The bonus damage. And therefore the SP1, just so that I can save myself from dashing back, I just parry them. And I get a couple incinerates, and man, they did so much damage. Intercept with an SP1, and yeah, he's almost down. He goes completely unblockable. So yeah, just gotta evade this, make sure I don't get clipped. Now they definitely gotta fix this, because not knowing when they go unblockable is kind of tough. Because if I push them in SP2 by accident, and I don't know when he's gonna go unblockable, yeah, it's kind of scary. Alright, so this fight, this is the Crossbones fight. It's literally the worst fight on my lane, because obviously he's going to be signature 200, so he'll have a 36% chance to shrug off any debuff, and then if I'm using Void, it goes up to 51%. Unfortunately, I don't have a mutant champion on the team, So it's either Void, Scent, or Hyperion. Now I think I should have gone with Sentinel just to conserve some health, because I do get clipped here. And yeah, this Crossbones is doing a lot of damage too through my block. Alright, and throw my SP3. And I don't know why, so you should be just clicking on the, or tapping on the screen as soon as the SP3 animation shows up, because bonus damage is not going to do anything. Alright, and now we can throw our SP1s. Unfortunately, you can convert some of them. Luckily, I got in a parry. Should be throwing more SP1s. There we go. Yeah, it's just the fact that he converts it is pretty freaking annoying. So yeah, all my damage has dropped off, and gotta get him to throw an SP1 so that just so that I can throw my SP3 so he doesn't have too much power. But yeah, at first when I looked at the clock, I see I'm halfway through it. I'm like, ah, shoot, it's gonna suck, because I'm more than halfway through and I've done less than, not even close to half of his health. And here's where I slipped up. I guess I didn't dash back fast enough, and so yeah, he clipped me. Alright, luckily I got a couple debuffs to stick. I can get some Furies here, and here's where I can really put in a good amount of damage in, if any of them would stick. I still have my 4 Furies and 3 Cosmic, so yeah, there we go. 500 per tick, so that's pretty insane amount of damage. And yeah, in those like 20 seconds I took most of his health down. Alright, and that is the last fight for this lane. Other people took the other fights. I believe it was just an Iron Fist right there. But yeah, as you can see, Legacy's in there trying to snipe some points. So literally like 2 minutes of me just tapping on the screen, because I know he's gonna like either force quit or die and go right back in. So yeah, it's like 2 minutes of me just tapping on the screen. And finally, it's open. But yeah, I was vigorously tapping on the screen because he had already like tried to go back in a second time, so I wasn't gonna let him do it a third time. Alright, so Omega Red again, same fights, except this one is has the aggressive note on there. So that basically means he's just trigger happy and he likes to dash in as much as possible. So you can get a lot of intercepts on here. It's similar to the Oscillate node, where when they have the Fury, they just like to dash in. Alright, and I got my heal block in. Now I just gotta not mess up for the rest of the fight. And someone asked me why I use my heavies. It's literally just to knock him back. It gives me a little bit of room to have him throw his SP1. So basically, because of the global, where you don't want to be dashing back too much, you want them to throw their specials without you triggering dexterity. So if they become completely unblockable, of course it's not the end of the world, but depending on the specials, depending on the situation you're in, it's just never a good position to be in, where they're unblockable, they have no special attack to throw that you can easily evade. So yeah. Alright, and we actually got our second Fear the Void, and as you can see, an AK medium crit is pretty insane. Alright, and the fight's almost done. And there we go, I just let him degen to death. It was doing like 2700 damage per second, which is pretty nuts. Alright, and now towards the last part of my lane, we got up next a Ghost Rider. This is also the Caustic temper, so have at least one Fury, and if you have 2 Furies or more, they gain slight power gain, and they get 150% attack and boost. So having the class disadvantage, that's not definitely not in my favor. So I'm not even gonna attempt to heal, because when I attempt to heal, I feel like the AI is slightly different, and they just don't leave me alone. So yeah, I'm just gonna use a potion, and I'm just gonna take him down without trying to heal any. Just wanted to throw an SP1. Gonna throw my SP3. SP3 actually did a good amount of damage, but my damage is gonna come in through the crits with the Furies. Alright, so I think this is where I'm just throwing my specials without going for the bonus damage. I don't know why for other fights I didn't do it, but yeah, if like you're not gonna do damage because you don't have the prerequisites to do damage, you might as well just skip the animation or get through it as fast as possible. So Ghost Rider goes completely unblockable. So yeah, I'm kind of in a rough spot. Throw my SP1 with an intercept. That's doing a lot of damage. Even with the class disadvantage, it's a lot of damage. And yeah, all of it drops off because I don't have a Fury. So alright, and get my 3 Cosmic. And it looks like I do go for the heal, even though in the past in map 6 it was pretty easy, but previously it hasn't been helping me too much in map 7 when I go for the heal, just because they end up being pretty nasty and like moving in a pretty disadvantageous manner, at least for Hyperion. Alright, and here is the death I had. So this is like 2 in the morning or something, so I go to sleep, wake up, fights are cleared. I go back because, as you guys saw in the beginning, that glitch made me move in the wrong direction, which is yeah, not good, and I didn't want to mess up again. Alright, so we got Vulture, Caustic temper again, gotta get some Furies. Just gotta be careful because sometimes when you parry Vulture, he gets that, like, I'm not sure if it's like a, kind of like an invisibility type, it's not even a buff, it's like Hood's invisibility, but it only has like 1 charge, so as soon as you hit him once, it disappears. But yeah, this fight isn't too bad. Only thing is that I don't want to be pushing him to SP2 because in the past I have had trouble not getting clipped by his SP2, where I literally would get clipped by like the end of it. So yeah, trying to play it safe. In this SP3 I do have all my Furies, so this is gonna do a good amount of damage. And yeah, this Vulture fight really isn't tough. Actually, my last lane isn't tough at all. Alright, so I only got one Fury there, which is actually pretty good for me, because that means that he won't gain that passive power gain or the insane amount of Fury or bonus damage. Alright, throw my SP2. Fortunately, couldn't get the full damage on here, but I am just gonna get as many Furies as I can, because I'm gonna go for the SP2 if I can, to try to end the fight. And it looks like it's funny because the whole week of map 7 I've been trying to avoid regenning because of day 1, and it looks like I got pretty greedy and just went for tons of regen. Alright, and there I go for the SP2, because my regen was just about out anyways, and finish off the fight. Alright, and here is the death. It's Nebula. Nebula isn't a hard fight, but she was just being pretty stingy with her SP1s, and eventually I got clipped because she went fully unblockable. So that's the only danger of this node, is when they go unblockable and they're not throwing their special attacks, and you're kind of getting stuck into a corner. Alright, throw my SP3, skip the timing just because I want to get through these fights as fast as possible. Don't really care for the regen anymore, just because I only have one more fight after this. I think this is where she goes completely unblockable. As you can see, trying to bait as much as possible, but yeah, she's just being really stingy. Unblockable, and I get clipped. I don't know where I get clipped. I think it's after this SP3. Yeah, it's definitely after the SP3. I'm trying to bait an SP1. I think it's right here on the like literally she had like 2 seconds left, and of course she clipped me. But I'm not too worried about it. I still have enough health to take on Star-Lord as well, and I'm trying to get a good amount of Furies. Of course she's going to get that passive power gain. Now I made a huge mistake right here. I should have gone for heavy and then a full 5-hit combo followed by an SP1, and I backed off because I thought I could have baited, but the passive power gain pushed her to an SP3, so that sucked. But I'm just gonna revive Hyperion, throw in one pot in there. Plus I have these level 2 Alliance team revives always in overflow, so it doesn't really bother me too much. So yeah, those heal for 1650. It's not a lot, but it's enough for me to get through. So yeah, I just gotta get a Fury, and I believe I just use an SP1, and she's down. Now next fight is linked by the left side, so I gotta wait an hour or two until I'm cleared. And generally I actually have taken this node linked, so you can see 15k attack, 150k health, but this also has Bane on there. Now if my Hyperion was close to full health, I would have taken this linked, but with the amount of health I have, if I mess up the timing, I'd be dead in a second. Yeah, Star-Lord finally unlinked. I'm just gonna take this, gonna try to end this fight as fast as possible. That's one of the things. This is why I hate some of the link nodes, is because you just want to get through it and finish a queue, That's personally my so for AW, the energy doesn't really bother me because it takes basically I do some fights. I can do 5 fights in a row, and then I only have 2 or 3 fights left, and then I can, you know, go home, call it a day, go to sleep. Yeah, for AQ it's just so long. Alright, I'm gonna bait a special, throw another SP2. Luckily I get a stun, and yeah, end the fight there. And that's the end of my lane. So again, I had lane 795. You just need someone with a Fury, and then someone who could cause debuffs. Hyperion actually covers all those. So yeah, he's really good for my lanes at least. I've seen a lot of Omega Reds, Visions, Corbuses as well. Now, we actually did end up placing top 10, which is pretty sick. I don't really care for map 7 or some of the rewards, but I did want this title. So the fact that you only get this title on the first week, it was pretty important. You got 4,500 T5B and a ton of glory. As you can see, I have over 13k glory currently, so I actually have to go and buy something in the glory store to not overflow. So I believe I do buy the T5B. I've already bought 1, I believe, or maybe 2. I'm not sure if it's worth to buy in the max on the T5B, just because they get pretty expensive. But then again, I don't know what I really use my glory for except for potions and T2A. T2A got actually decently cheaper. Alright, and I will be opening the map 7 crystals here. I believe I got decent luck, like the average. Unfortunately, these do not have the spinning animation or the wheel, which is kind of disappointing. So once I saw that, I was just like, alright, I'll just pop them. But yeah, we'll see what we get. The first one, 800 T4B. I was like, wow, that is trash. Got 2k T2A, which is alright, but yeah, I'm like about to overflow on T2A, so oh well. It's been the second one, just because then I can just pop 10 and I'll be fine with that. Yeah, I got T4CC and more T4B, so yeah, those, and then I popped 10 and they sucked. Yeah, as you can see, nothing really good. I was pretty disappointed, but then I popped another 10, formed the T2A, and got 4k T5B, so that was pretty good. As far as what Omni is doing for the rest of the seasons, I think we'll be focusing more on on AQ, I mean. It's just because the cost is a lot less, with more or less the same payout. If they want to make Alliance War more desirable, they're gonna have to increase the gain in shards, just because for a while now AQ has been for rank up resources, AW for champions. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.